I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. I don't want you to weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. I don't want you to weep after me. 2, 3, 4. Every lonely river must go down to the sea. Every lonely river must go down to the sea. Every lonely river must go down to the sea. I don't want you to weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. I don't want you to weep after me. Yeah.
Sing it in the park on Sunday.
Every week at 3:30. Sing it in the park on Sunday. Every week at 3:30. Sing it in the park on Sunday. Every week at 3:30. I don't want you to weep after me. 2, 3, 4. Don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. When I'm on my journey, don't you weep after me. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Billy. Let's go. Come on, Greenwich Village. We live right here in the neighborhood. Too bad. Come on.
Come on. Now, that's the kind of music I like to hear in the park.
I honestly don't know what to do about it. I'm caught in the middle. Every time I go out with him, I feel like a collaborator. Only beatniks sing folk songs. It's part of the stupid attitude of this narrow little neighborhood. Mrs. Hecklinger, would you speak to my mother about Ted? Every time I try to talk to her, I get so mad I can't talk.
If you think it would do any good.
Yeah, but there's more than just your personal problem involved here, Miss Barbell. I mean, the whole neighborhood is undergoing a kind of Cold War, and we've got to try to effect a truce before it warms up.
Yes, but how?
Today is Thursday, isn't it? I'll see you in a little while.
Don't worry about the doctors or the hospital. Tell them to send the bill to me. Now, will you do that for me, please, sweetheart?
Sì, grazie, grazie.
And the next time you come in here, I want to see roses in your cheeks. You understand? And you're not to worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything. Hey, Ross, come in here.
Chief.
Please, help Mrs. Lopicolo down the stairs.
Oh, sure. Don't run. You got all the time in the world.
That's what you think. Grazie, grazie.
Mr. D'Angelo, if you weren't already a good politician, you'd make a marvelous social worker.
Now, that's a compliment. Coming from the CWS, Mrs. Hecklinger, that's a real compliment. But I'll tell you the difference, though. With me, it isn't charity. Take Mrs. Lopicolo, for example. She's been working hard for the party for 30 years, ever since she first came over here and got her papers. Now, the least I can do is to pick up the tab, right? Now, what can I do for the community welfare service today?
Well, Mr. D'Angelo, if we are going to achieve unity in this neighborhood, We have to let the older residents see that the young newcomers mean well.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Some of the newcomers are very talented. Now, if I could recruit some volunteers to give free music and drawing lessons to some of the children in the neighborhood, could you find a room or a loft that wouldn't cost too much?
For what?
As an arts center, a place for everybody to get together.
That's a very interesting thought. I'll tell you something. I've been willing to help these people all along, but not one of them has come to me, in spite of all the trouble they've been having. Maybe they just don't want to get together.
Oh, I think they do. This could be a tremendous help, Mr. D'Angelo.
Well, why don't you let me think about it?
Frank, you want to see Tommy Martinelli now?
Yeah, send him right. No, wait. Wait. Give him this. Tell him I said I hope everything goes all right for him. And to keep his nose clean.
This ain't cleansing tissue.
You always keep a book full of money around?
Only on Thursday. On Thursday, my door's open to everybody. And everybody's got problems. That's why I keep this book stuffed full of money. That's something I learned early in life. You give a man $1. He may not have anything else. He's still got $1. I just thought of a place for you. It's over Fellini's Market. He used to use it for storage, but he's got all that frozen stuff now. He doesn't need it. It's just a big loft, but it might be what you need.
Oh, Mr. D'Angelo, you are a wizard.
Just tell those young volunteers of yours I'm glad to be of help. And I'd like to get together with them, see if there's anything else I can do. Now, that's what you call politicking.
I certainly will tell them. As for myself, all I can say is grazie.
Grazie.
Oh.
No, Jenny. You just go right over and see Fellini and tell him I said that he should let you have that place dirt cheap.
I will. And again, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Night, Mr. Ross.
Mrs. Hecklinger? What was that all about?
It's a real piece of luck. Here we've been beating our brains out trying to get those bums to fall in line. We even haven't run out of the park. The only way to fight it is to come to me, but they don't come. They don't fight. They don't scare. And she walks in here and asks me to help them. Now, is that a break or isn't it?
You're wasting your time, Frank. You can't win that crowd. They don't know politics. They don't care.
I'll make them care. I run a tight district. I'm not going to have anybody coming in here and upsetting the balance. They want my help. They got to give me something back. They'll win.
I never dreamed, when I was a young boy playing Tarzan, King of the Apes, that when I grew up I was going to be a volunteer music teacher. I am thrilled to the very core of my existence.
Well, you should make a very good teacher.
Why should I make a good teacher?
Because you're kind and gentle and patient and loving.
No, that's with you. With children, I am cruel and rotten. All right, I'll be a good teacher.
Better start learning some of those children's songs.
Well, let's see. I know the original lyrics to Frankie and Johnny.
No, seriously.
Yes, you're right. Something more in tune with the social conditions in which they live. Like, for example, Eugene V. Debs, you are not jailed in vain. Or how about, the preacher's coming for supper tonight, so don't wear the white tablecloth to the Ku Klux Klan meeting.
Beatnik.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Beatnik.
Oh, I'm bleeding. Look what I have to put up with. I would shave it off, my beard, except that everybody I know's got one, and I'm a conformist.
Miss Barbella, your mother's here.
Here. What does she want?
I was uptown shopping, so I thought I'd stop by to see if you're about ready to go home.
I don't see any shopping bag.
Oh, the stores were full of trash.
I'm waiting to speak to Mrs. Hecklinger, or I'll be home after a while. You don't have to spy on me.
No?
Mrs. Barbella, Ted Miller.
We don't have enough of this type in our neighborhood. You have to come here to meet one.
Mama.
Oh, what type?
Never mind.
Oh, I have to know. You know, I'll get a little card. I'll put my type on it. And then in case I'm ever plagued with a sudden doubt, they can rush me to an analyst. I'll get a psyche transfusion.
Don't talk so smart. Big words don't mean a thing to me. You know what you are, mister. Why can't you bums stay north of Bleecker Street where you belong? Why do you have to infest our neighborhood?
Mrs. Barbella.
You know what happened down on MacDougal Street. I have friends living there. Good Italian Americans living upstairs in those apartments. They get sick that their children have to see what's going on. Drunken girls, fruitcakes.
Mama, stop it.
Why can't you leave decent people alone? You got the village, stay in it.
The village isn't a ghetto, Mrs. Barbella. People can move out whenever they want to.
Wherever the four winds blow and the rents are low, yippee-hi-yo-ki-yay.
So smart.
The village is changing, you know. More tourist traps, more luxury apartments. The cold water flat set has to live somewhere.
I don't care about that. I just don't want to look out of my window and see them on the street with their beards and their sandals. They don't belong in our neighborhood.
That's the kind of prejudice I get at home. You can't reason with her.
Well, listen, you may not believe this, but underneath this facial hair, I'm a human being. And I have feelings, and I have an ego, and I have a mother, and all that jazz.
If you have a mother, I bet she's not proud of the way you live.
Oh, you should see the way she lives. All that cleaning and dusting, that's disgusting.
Listen, let me tell you something about cleanliness.
Now, listen, I don't think there's any reason for us to kick this back and forth any further. We all have a right to live where we want to in a manner that suits us.
Are you listening, Mama?
I'm glad your father isn't alive to hear the way you talk to me, Stella.
I ask you not to call me that. Please.
What's wrong with it? It's your name, isn't it? I picked it out myself. It means star.
I don't care what it means. I'm sick of being Stella Barbella.
So what do you want me to call you?
Call me what my friends call me, Stacy.
Stacy Barbella?
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I've just been to see the new art center.
Well, you found something.
No. Mr. D'Angelo did.
Oh, yeah?
Wonderful.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Oh, see, Mama, everybody in the neighborhood doesn't feel the way you do.
It gives me great pleasure to turn over the keys to these premises to that wonderful organization, the Community Welfare Service, and to those dedicated volunteers through whose joint efforts this fine, big room will be converted into a center for the teaching and the appreciation of the arts.
Hold on.
Stacy, we're going to need buckets of water.
I'll ask Mr. Fellaini.
Yes, would you do that, please? And I'd better check on the paint. It should have been here before now.
Mrs. Hecklinger, the keys?
Keys? Oh, the keys. The keys. Thank you. Ted, could you and your crew do something about these crates? They're going to have to be carried out of here.
Aye, aye.
Oh!
You heard the captain, you little swine?
Look what you're doing.
Sorry, I was just breaking up the spider's happy home. He's been living here for generations.
You ought to be glad to get this place, whatever shape it's in.
Glad all over.
You wouldn't have gotten any place if I hadn't talked myself blue. Now, just see that you behave yourself. Don't make any trouble.
Well, we won't dirty the place up if that's what you mean.
That's not a good attitude to take.
You want me to kiss your feet?
Is this the thanks I get for going out of my way to help?
No, wait a minute. You got this a little bit backwards. The kids in the neighborhood didn't volunteer to help us out. It's the other way around. You can thank us later.
What is it with you people?
You want votes? Be nice.
I told you they wouldn't line up. I knew you were wrong from the beginning, Frank. Now, look what you got in this so-called art center. The Barbella girls brought in some of her friends. They're working right hand in glove with those beatniks.
Don't talk to me about those people. They can work their heads off for all I care.
You're losing the young Turks of the neighborhood to that crowd. How many independents can we afford in the district? What are they going to say downtown, Frank?
have seen it when we started. You've done a fantastic job.
Well, all you'd have to do tomorrow is throw open the doors and wait for the kids to pour in and tear the place apart. The kids will come, won't they?
I'm sure there are lots of young mothers who'll be happy to get rid of their children for 2 hours every Saturday.
Well, then you're in business.
Mr. Brock, the man from the fire department's here. You better talk to him.
Inspector, what can we do for you?
You're going to have to fix some things before you can use these premises for what you have in mind.
What things?
Violation of city fire regulations. No escape, no fire stairs, not enough exits, no fire doors, no sprinkler system, no extinguisher.
How do you know?
What?
How do you know that we don't have any extinguishers? When did you make this inspection?
Well, I'm making it now, Mr. Brock. These violations will have to be corrected in 10 days.
We have to put up a whole new building to do that.
I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
I'm on my way, I'm on my way, and I won't turn back, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, I'm on my way, and I won't turn back, and I won't turn back.
Unsafe and unsuitable for use as a meeting hall, art studio, classroom, or meeting place of any kind.
I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. I asked my brother, I asked my brother,
Well, do you have any idea how much time and hard work Mrs. Hecklinger and her people put in trying to clean that loft up?
Oh, it's a terrible shame. In a way, I feel responsible.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, I should have considered the fire regulations before I suggested that room.
That fire inspection was a phony.
Oh, that's so. Hadn't you better take that up with the fire department?
I understand you have quite a bit of influence with that department.
Would you like me to look into it for you?
Something like that.
I'll do what I can. No, tomorrow. I haven't got time today. If a fireman gets an idea, you know, some place is a fire trap, it's awful hard to shake it loose from him.
Where do you suppose you got that idea?
Oh, I wouldn't know. There's a lot of resentment building up in this area. This is a family neighborhood, Mr. Brock. You know what I mean? Lots of uncles, aunts, cousins, close friends, close ties. They don't much care for these outsiders, this strange breed that's moving in here. You gotta admit, some of them are real oddballs.
Oddballs have rights.
Well, sure.
Their rights have to be protected. Everybody else's rights seem to be taken for granted.
I'll stand up for any man's rights. I don't care who he is or what he is.
As long as he plays on your team.
Right. And that's a very important consideration. It's what keeps me in the game. You know how long I've been in the game? Ever since I was 9 years old. Used to rush the growler for the boys at the club. Had to fight kids much bigger than me, just for the privilege. And it wasn't for the nickel and dime tips either. No, I was after something better. Recognition. Back then, there weren't too many ways for a punk kid to climb a heap. All right. I know what you're thinking. I'm a party hack. You're right. But that's exactly what I want to be. Oh, I've known them all the big shots, the fair-haired boys. Yeah, the Farleys, the Flynn's, yeah. Some of them passed me on the way up. Yeah, and again on the way down. Me, I never moved out of my seat.
You played it safe.
Nah. You and me, we're different, Mr. Brock. I'm not about to climb out on a limb and then chop off the tree.
You sent that fire inspector over. That was pressing things a little bit, wasn't it?
Those oddballs could have avoided problems like this. But now, I don't know. Maybe it's too late. If I can do anything else for you, please don't hesitate.
What am I supposed to do? Run to Frank D'Angelo every time somebody makes a face at me? What does he lump us all together for? We didn't conspire to move in this neighborhood. We drifted in as individuals or in the biblical sense by twos. There is no group. The only group I belong to is the human race. They're not organized.
You are a group as long as people think of you as a group and you're not wanted.
I pay rent. Nobody can force me to move.
Well, they can make you want to move, and it can be a very unfriendly neighborhood.
What neighborhood? I don't live in a neighborhood. I live in the world. I sleep in the neighborhood.
That attitude won't get you anywhere.
Is it all right if I make a suggestion?
Please.
All right. You're being harassed. You don't like D'Angelo's political extortion. There is one other way to protect yourselves. Make it a group. Put up a solid front.
What do you mean? In order to protect my rights as an individual, I got to organize?
That is the paradox, yes.
You could become a real force.
I'm going to be a force.
Don't you see? It's time you stood up to be counted and showed your strength and let everybody see that you're not to be tampered with.
I got a better idea. Why don't we stop fooling around with call the UN?
All right, if you're going to be sarcastic, then I'm just going to forget about it.
I don't want to get involved.
You're already involved up to your chin whiskers in hard feelings and controversy.
I'm not a resistance fighter.
All right, let them throw you every Sunday out of the park on your guitar. Probably make good exercise for you.
You don't let everybody walk all over you. Rights aren't any good unless you stand up for them. You got to unify and organize and demonstrate. You have to demand fair treatment.
You know, this is beginning to sound just a little bit political.
Oh, good. Because anything in Italian has a healthy respect for its politics.
Structure. I hate to use such word terminology. Well, if you're going to fight, you might as well make it a good one, because once you declare yourself, you're going to have to go all the way.
Oh, what do we do? Where do we start?
Well, to get a candidate on the ballot, we have to have a designating petition with the names of 350 registered voters from this district.
350?
Yeah, not only that, but they all have to have lived in the state for a year, in the district for 4 months, and at their present address for 30 days. It's going to be tough finding a candidate with those qualifications.
Gee, for a guy who's reluctant to fight, you're certainly hip on what has to be done.
Yeah, what can be done? We got to grab the 350 people from the enemy camp.
You need a lot of help to spread the word and circulate the petition. I think what you need is teamwork, you know?
We got a team?
Well, we should try to find some way to start about, setting up an organization.
Didn't you know the CWS was working hand in glove with those beatniks?
She's of age. What am I going to do?
Well, you better think of some way to help us, Rose.
I helped plenty. Didn't I bring down my whole block at the last election? 100% registration.
And didn't Mr. D'Angelo pay you back for that favor? Didn't he get your sister that job with the city? Huh? And I can think of a few other favors, and those favors can be taken back, Rose.
Lyle, you don't want to be too hard on Mrs. Barbella. She's always come through for us in the past.
What do you want me to do? What do you want from me?
Your daughter's in with a bad crowd. We want you to take better care of her. Mr. Brock and the CWS. I'll take care of them.
Look, Mr. Kirby, I made this appointment 3 weeks ago, and our client has taken time off from his job just to arrange for the interview. Well, it's your business to see him. You can't keep a man waiting 3 weeks and slam the door in his face.
And the commissioner refused to see you? Well, the secretary said he wasn't seeing any social workers today. I said, listen, Goldie, you take yourself back in there and tell him that we have 6 of our girls in detention, and I want to talk probation with somebody. But I couldn't get in. I never heard of such a thing. That is outrageous. Say, have any of my meetings been canceled? No. Well, I want you to reconfirm all the appointments I have for this week, and if anybody tries to back out, I want to know why. Okay? Jane, you go to that commissioner and camp in his waiting room until he agrees to see you. Well, if this is going to be a sit-in, I guess I better pick up some magazines. All they have in that office is civil service.
Oh, no, what's new?
Haven't you heard? The sky's falling. You know, it's frightening. Do you have the least notion why this is happening?
Well, it isn't hard to figure out. Add 1 fire inspector and reduce the lowest common denominator.
How do you fight a man like D'Angelo?
From inside his own party. From a fighting organization.
Hallelujah. Have you seen Albie's latest?
Albie's latest what?
Oh, boy.
I was so fed up, I took a knife and slashed the canvas to ribbons. And it was just the effect it needed.
One gets tired of seeing the same people at every party.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. It's a wild bash, but nobody seems to want to talk politics. You haven't seen Stacy, huh?
No. Have you had a chance to talk up the idea about running somebody against D'Angelo?
No, not yet. They're not ready for that. This whole group is coming unglued.
How do you mean?
Do you ever try to talk togetherness with a classical romanticist and an abstract impressionist? It's like trying to mate a cobra with a mongoose.
Well, they have to be welded together for the common cause. Where can I get a cold beer?
A beautiful girl walks up, puts one in your hand.
Why? My name's Neil Brock.
I'm Tony Ginger. What do you do?
I'm a social worker.
Isn't that the wildest?
My people, mingle.
You are a Kerouac come lately. Any pubescent girl with a diary can outright you on the subject of life.
Don't tell me about writing. Poetry is a dead art form, and you're as extinct as a pterodactyl, that other flying reptile.
Third-rate Norman Mailer, and fourth-rate Henry Miller.
Wait. You're going to blow the whole reason we're here. Fight for your rights, but don't fight each other.
Unpublished poets are bad enough, but published!
You forget it. You're an intelligent man. You're a writer.
Writers? Are you kidding? He couldn't write a television commercial.
You could. And have.
Oh, kill him!
Easy now, easy.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, the party's over. The party's over. Let's go. Everybody, you're going safe. Out the door. Everybody out the door.
Neil? What are you doing in there?
What are you doing out there?
Having a party, having a ball. Along came the coppers and made a big haul. Manhattan jail, oh, Manhattan jail. Locked in the tombs of Manhattan jail. Once was an angel, angel so low. Sent for the fuzzy, that so-and-so. Manhattan jail, oh, Manhattan jail. Locked in the tombs of Manhattan jail. Tossed in the can of can't make the bail. Left here to rot in Manhattan jail. Manhattan jail, oh, Manhattan jail. Locked in the tombs of Manhattan jail. When we get out of the clinch, send us an angel as quick as a wing. Manhattan jail, oh, Manhattan jail. Locked in the tombs of Manhattan jail. Let's hear it now! Manhattan jail, oh, Manhattan jail. Locked in the tombs of Manhattan jail.
I'm going to make a speech. I know we're all having fun and jollies here in the jailhouse, but as much as I hate to say so, we've got a very serious problem.
What do you mean? We're not going to get sprung?
No, I don't mean that. I don't think D'Angelo's influence reaches as far as night court, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But What I think about is after we get out. I mean, is it going to be every man for himself again? He had us thrown in here in the first place, remember? And he doesn't want us to make any decisions. And he doesn't want us to form any plans.
What's the joke?
I was just thinking of Mr. Brock and the Hooskow. Here's a great chance to do a little social work.
Yeah, they should be sprung by now. Yeah, probably all out on the street, cursing me for what they've done to themselves. Now they know how far I can reach. All of a sudden they find it's not so easy to beat me in my own bailiwick. They're probably saying, let's have a drink. We'll think about it tomorrow. And then tomorrow they'll say, yeah, forget it. And that's the end of it.
Well, yeah, Frank, sounds like you got everything under control.
Well, come in. Come in. It's good to see you. This is an unexpected pleasure. I've been meaning to get downtown, but somehow I just never get around to it. Come on.
Oh, we've missed you, Frank. And you've missed some good poker pots.
Yeah, I'll bet. How's the family?
They're still in Europe, taking in all the churches and art galleries.
You know, I've been wanting to do the same thing. You've no idea how many cousins I've got around Naples, huh? How about a drink? Aquavit. I always keep a bottle handy for special occasions.
What's the special occasion tonight?
Oh, I kind of pulled the rug out from under some people. Thank you.
What's happening in your district, Frank? We've had some disturbing reports downtown.
It's nothing. It's all taken care of. That situation for those independent types. They were looking for trouble, so I gave them some. I had a few of them thrown into jail to give them something to think about.
They were released about an hour ago.
That's about what I figured.
What else did you figure? You know where they are now?
No, I don't. Should I?
In the CWS office. They went straight there the minute they got let off. According to a cop I know. Frank, they're holding a caucus. They're pushing for a place on the ballot. They're picking a candidate. Somebody to run against you in the primary.
Where were you last night? You weren't at the party? You weren't at the meeting? Did you know they nominated me for district leader?
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Where were you last night?
Home.
What were you doing at home?
Mom wasn't feeling very well.
They say that anger poisons the system.
For all you know, she could have been very ill.
Was she?
No?
Well, what were you doing at home with her?
She had to talk to me. It was important.
About what?
And as personal as family matter.
Define your terms.
She told me how my Aunt Mary got her job with the city. She told me how, Mr. D'Angelo promised my cousin Ernie his taxi medallion. She told me when our landlord was going to raise the rent, how she went out and got in line on Thursday night to ask for a favor.
Mm-hmm. And D'Angelo made him lower the rent.
Tear up the lease. Living there now without a lease. Anything can happen. Ted, I love you. Can't we just go away somewhere and live like ordinary people?
Don't you see what he's done? He couldn't win you over, so he neutralized you. Well, listen to me. I know that D'Angelo holds a lot of strings, but when he's beaten, his power's going to be gone. Doesn't that make sense?
You can't beat him. You can't get 350 names on a petition to put your name on the ballot. Now, other people are scared of D'Angelo, and they're not going to gamble on a Beatnik's chances. Nick. Goodbye.
You're going to have a rally in the park. What do you call it? A hootenanny.
Oh? What do you got? Let's see what they're handing out. They're that dumb?
Yeah, they're that dumb.
Wait a minute. Maybe we ought to be there.
Thine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vineyards where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. And we'll be D'Angelo.
Well, if you didn't like that, you wouldn't like the speech either. There'll be some more entertainment later on. I know you've all heard about the petition. I don't know whether you've seen it yet. Here it is. We're going to give you a closer look. The people who've signed this petition are all registered voters of this community, and they've all had something else in common, too.
Yeah, the Beatnik.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. What a donkey?
That means lice, buddy.
Oh, you're fascinating. You should try green soap, Mr. D'Angelo. The people who signed this petition all believe that a change is necessary.
Why don't you shut up, Pinocchio? Yeah, Pinocchio. Hey, Pinocchio. Hey, that's fun, huh? Hey, I like that. I like call names. You like call names? That's fun. Hey, hi, Mr. D'Angelo. There's Mr. D'Angelo. He's great at calling names. He knows all the names, don't you, Mr. D'Angelo? All the fighting words. He trotted out a great one here today. Pinocchio. Lousy Beatnik. Yeah, that's fun to call names. Hey, you remember what they used to call you? Huh? You remember what they called your grandma when she got off the boat? It doesn't take much brains to open your mouth and let a noise come out. Doesn't take much brains to do what you're told, either. Or to believe everything you hear about a person or about a group of people. Everybody knows that all gangsters are Italian. And that all Italians are gangsters. Everybody knows that. So it must be true, huh? And everybody knows that the people that are moving into this neighborhood are completely devoid of morals and all human decency. So what I want to know is, are you gangsters going to listen to this lousy Beatnik?
I don't think there's anything more to say. You'll be saying the important part when you sign this petition. We'll be able to show the neighborhood giant that there are better ways to live than under his fat thumb. Who'll be the first to sign? You, sir. Strike a blow for liberty.
You're very lucky, Mr. D'Angelo. You're lucky he wasn't badly hurt.
I'm sorry. The boy broke his arm. I said so.
Sorry it wasn't his neck? It's a little difficult for you to accept the idea that he might peel away your image as protector of the people, isn't it? Come on, Mr. D'Angelo. You're not interested in protecting the neighborhood from the Beatnik horde. All you want to do is perpetuate yourself as district leader, isn't that so?
That's not true. You give enough time, they'll come into this area and change the whole place into another Greenwich Village.
Saturday night on McDougal Street, huh?
Right. Yeah, the drunken bums and those sexy little numbers, huh? Colored mixing with the white. And drugs.
What's the Italian word for scapegoat?
Goodbye, Mr. Brock.
Are you really so crazy about that seat that you're going to try to keep it by force?
I didn't hurt that boy.
Oh, I see. They were your man, your clerk.
Could be.
But they didn't have your blessing, is that it?
I swear I didn't order it. I don't know anything about it. The boys must have just gotten out of hand.
What would you call it? A spontaneous demonstration of affection for their fearless leader?
You don't hear. I said the boys got out of hand.
No, you lost control of them. That's what happened. The situation got out of hand. What happens now? Mobs in the streets beating up on beatniks?
I told you to get out.
What'll you do if I refuse? Break my arm?
Do you know these two are going to get married? In spite of all opposition. Do you think it's a good idea?
You may never play the guitar again.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a drum.
Beatnik.
Mr. Brock, I believe we met once. One of those fundraising dinners for sweet charity, wasn't it?
Yes, about 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
Mr. Brock, let's talk about Frank D'Angelo.
What is it you're talking about? You run the party, you run D'Angelo.
We happen to believe that Frank D'Angelo is a good man.
I happen to believe that he's a corrupt anachronism.
He's going to win the primary.
I don't think that'll alter his personality.
I like a fighter. No, I don't mean Frank. I'm projecting. Now, the primary doesn't mean very much outside the party. I'm looking ahead a year or two to the elections. Have you ever considered running for office?
Yes, once. I was nominated for Sergeant of Arms in my sophomore high school class, but I was beaten out by a tall girl.
Oh, I'm serious. You're exactly the kind of man we're looking for. Direct, honest, intelligent.
I like your style, kid. I like the way you handle your dukes. How'd you like to fight the champ?
You don't believe I'm serious?
Yes, I believe it. What is it you want?
Well, for certain, call them technical reasons of our own, we want Frank D'Angelo to serve another term as district leader. And there's every chance that he will anyway, since your lad isn't even on the ballot.
Well, he might get on.
The odds are against it.
You know, I once knew a bookie who laid 8 to 1 that Dewey would be Truman.
I bet on Truman. Now, don't misunderstand me, Mr. Brock. We have nothing against this young Mr. Miller. As a matter of fact, we look on him very favorably. And with considerable interest for the future. But as for the present...
Don't you think you ought to just come out and say what's on your mind?
We want you and your people publicly to withdraw your support of Miller.
I see. In return for what? Do I get a crack at the mayor's office or the governor's mansion? Or an all-expense-paid tour to Washington, D.C.?
We don't promise any of those things. Specifically. But as for Mr. Miller, next time out, we'll see to it that he has a whole organization behind him.
That's a very neat package. I almost hate to turn it down.
You'd be making a big mistake. You could have a fine career.
I have a fine career. I have a great, big, beautiful office, too, you see? I'm a social worker. I know that in your hierarchy that gives me the status of a substitute Sunday school teacher, but this job does have one admirable fringe benefit. I don't have to make deals with anybody.
Hey, where's Brock? Brock! Here. Put this under your pillow.
I haven't got any pillow.
Oh, that's gonna be a mess, man. Put it under your mattress then. Here, take it. It's heavy.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
Oh, Stella, please. Don't you observe tradition?
Oh,
Hey,
I want you to meet my son-in-law, the politician, Mr. and Mrs. Luca Theodore Miller.
How do you do? Pleasure.
Miller? I knew a Miller in Milano.
Oh, yeah, another branch of the family, the Milano Millers.
Mrs. Luca, you haven't signed the petition yet.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that.
Now, let's see, who else did I miss?
Giovanni, nice to see you. Come sta? Hello. Look, drop by and congratulate the happy couple. Couldn't make the ceremony.
You weren't invited. Mrs. Barbella?
Hello, Rose. Nice affair.
Mrs. Barbella, here's someone who hasn't signed the guest list yet. Well, no room on that one. See that? Oh, darn, look at that. And sign that fellow's name. What awful. Well, here we are. There's a little space right down here at the bottom.
Wise guy, aren't you? All right, so he's on the ballot. He's still got a run against me. I've never been beaten yet.
You never run against an Italian before.
Hey, how about a song? Hey, yeah.
Stick around. You're going to have some entertainment.
Come on,
Sul mare luccica la strada argento, placida l'onda, prospero il vento, sul